The real reason why men date younger women is not because of their physical appearance, their bodies. No, because today with plastic surgery and everything else, you barely know who is 40 and who is 18.
That's nonsense.
Guys date younger women because they're easily manipulated. They're gonna be very happy with a few crumbs because maybe they didn't experience much in the world. They're gonna be just easily impressed.
You're such a donut.
When I realized that I'm the same age as Leonardo DiCaprio's new girlfriend,
The woman was too stunned to speak.
no one is ever going to put up with you and your princess attitude. My boyfriend every morning.
Now this is the way that biology intended. What you see here is a high-value alpha male with his young girlfriend in her biological prime, seeking out comfort and security so she can procreate and breed his babies. Some would say her sexual market value is extremely high, and they are perfect for each other. There's nothing weird or wrong about this pairing at all. Not shocking. This is just...
The show goes on!
So men value youth and beauty, and women value security and resources in a relationship. This is shocking. She seems to understand that reality holds men accountable, and that time holds women accountable. But what exactly has allowed her to recognize this?
So ever since I've been in my 30s, I've noticed a decline in male attention, so getting hit on, catcalled, whatever. Which, at first, I was kind of bummed about, I'm not gonna lie, just because I used to thrive off of male validation. By the way, the most I ever got hit on was when I was underage and in my late teens.
Oh my God!
Now I realize that I don't think I would want to be with a partner that would only be attracted to and want to date someone who's in their late teens and early 20s. So I realized that I'm just naturally weeding out horrible men by existing as a 32-year-old woman.
By complaining about her plight on TikTok, she gets invited onto the Dr. Phil show.
What?
I'm Fifi and I'm 33 years old, and even saying that out loud is kind of scary. Let's be real, you guys. We live in an ageist society where the most power and the most social capital a woman will have is between the ages of teenage to 25.
I don't give a shit.
For clarification, social capital is the potential ability to obtain resources, favors, or information from one's personal connections. The saying, "It's not what you know, it's who you know," is a common expression of social capital.
Bingo.
The average man typically never has appreciable power or social capital at any point in his life.
True.
As the saying goes, the mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation.
Fact.
So she should be happy that women almost always experience some form of unearned power or social capital, even if it does decline past the age of 25. Wow.
Paulina Porizkova has written a book, No Filter, and she really got real in this book. She got real on social media, got a lot of criticism for being real on social media, both in her pictures and in what she said when she was grieving, going through grief after losing her husband that she had been married to for a long, long time.
Wait.
This is Paulina Porizkova, one of the top supermodels of the 1980s. She's become the poster girl for aging gracefully due to her avoidance of surgical procedures. Her main talking point recently has been the difference in the way she gets treated now compared to when she was young.
Flashback. I would say at around the age of 45, I started noticing that the way I was perceived was slightly different than what I had become used to. And then I would put photos of myself in bikinis. All of a sudden, I started getting the influx of, "Are you a little desperate there, Grandma? How about you cover up and spare us the look of your poor aging body?" I was sort of getting relinquished to the invisible women category.
Invisibility?
It dawned on me that when you walk down the street, when you're a younger woman, it's like every man passes you and goes, "Is she f***able?" Now you can most definitely walk down the street without having anybody bounce anything off of you. Like, people will literally just walk into you. And you think, hold on a second. I am actually a far more interesting person than I've ever been. And this is where you don't want to see me anymore because I've aged out of being physically appealing to you.
End of flashback. The main point here is that if a former top supermodel can age out of the dating process, hit the wall hard, and lose much of her social capital, then it can happen to all women who rely mostly on their youth. It's good for women to know this, since it allows them to navigate the world with more purpose.
You just heard from 33-year-old Fifi, who says that she's consumed by her fear of aging. You think that's already started, it's already hit. You said once you pass 25.
No, actually, I woke up on my 23rd birthday and I had a mental breakdown. At 23 years old, I crawled to my knees and I covered my face, like a movie scene, I was like, I'm so old. Can you imagine how I feel now?
Can you imagine how we feel right now?
I understand.
I think I'm gonna have to crawl out from underneath the ground.
Right.
It sounds like she might have went through a quarter-life crisis. This is an existential crisis involving sorrow over the direction and quality of one's life. It's a period of soul-searching and self-questioning that typically occurs in a person's mid-20s to early 30s, although a quarter-life crisis can begin as early as 18.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Here's a TikTok that provides a good example of what a quarter-life crisis looks like. However, I've modified the visuals.
I turned 25 this week, and if I'm honest, I'm terrified. I'm terrified because I feel like a failure. And I don't know if anyone else watching this understands that feeling, but my life looks nothing like I thought it would at this age. When I was a kid, I always said, by 25, I'll be married. I'll have this amazing career. And I've done a lot of cool things, don't get me wrong, but I'm about to be 25, and most nights I go to bed feeling so lonely. And then most days I wake up feeling lost, like I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I have this overwhelming thought of, is this it? Is this all there is? When you're 25 years old and you live alone and you have no partner and you have maybe 2 friends and you've struggled with mental illness your entire life, there's just not much to wake up for, is there? Let me know if you relate, because I would love to not feel so alone.
If you remember one thing from this entire video, it would be to never take irreversible action when you're at your lowest.
My man. Yeah.
Feelings of uncertainty, self-doubt, restlessness, disillusionment, anxiety, and depression are common during a quarter-life crisis. A person might ask themselves the questions, what am I doing with my life? Is this what the rest of my life is going to look like? And what's the point of anything?
You're on social media and a lot of guys are saying stuff to you, right? Well, here are some of them. I've put them up so we can see. You look 110.
Yeah.
She's old and has lip filler. A woman's worth dips past 25. How are you not embarrassed at your age?
Yeah.
I thought she was in her 40s.
Yeah, I get that a lot, actually. 40s and 50s.
Poor thing.
Most of these comments are either untrue, unfair, unverifiable, or an attempt at humor. However, when facing criticism, it might be worth asking if there's a kernel of truth to any of what is being said.
What?
Because the comment, a woman's worth dips past the age of 25, at least in the context of dating, power, and social capital, is arguably true.
In Japanese, they say that a woman over 25 is like a Christmas cake.
Bruh.
Because who wants a Christmas cake after 25?
You motherfucker.
And so these are guys commenting?
Yeah, they're mostly unshowered men between the ages of about 13 years old to about deathbed. Yeah.
Yeah.
They always have the most to say, the crustiest ones, you know.
Remember, if you care about what other people think, you'll always be their prisoner.
Subvert the patriarchy.
You're letting these people bug you. These guys are saying that you wake up at 23 and you've got your head in your hands crying.
Partly it is, you know, my inability to kind of put a wall up, but I do think because I grew up in an age with, you know, social media and a certain type of media that I was exposed to, I feel like I've been programmed in a very unhealthy way by society and internalized all of that.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's no doubt that social media programs people in an unhealthy way, in particular, inadequacy about your life or appearance.
Girls in 2024 feeling insecure about their skin, compared to the flawless skin they see in the media.
What?
The airbrushed skin they see.
Meanwhile,
The real, normal, human skin they don't see.
The platforms are designed to be addictive, can negatively impact a person's overall well-being by fueling anxiety, depression, loneliness, and the fear of missing out.
Damn right.
Fear of missing out is an anxiety of losing what we never even had, and could hence be described as an insane mental defect. However, it is common, real, and can make us feel deep regret for something that hasn't actually happened.
And the earlier teens start using social media, the greater impact the platforms have on mental health. This is especially true for females.
Besides her looks and her beauty, what do you guys notice about her? What jumped out at you when she came up here and started talking?
It's very articulate, very well spoken, very clear, yeah.
Yeah, Robin?
Sense of humor.
Yeah. You got a great sense of humor. She's smart.
Oh, really?
Notice how the topic of power, social capital, or value of any kind past the age of 25 is not discussed.
Pathetic.
To many people on TV, a discussion is not usually an exchange of truthful information. Rather, it's a battleground to rile, anger, and push an agenda. In this case, the show serves as a means to placate and coddle older women, which contributes to younger women being totally unaware of the wall and its consequences.
I'm so over waiting. Like, when is it gonna be my turn? What did I do wrong? The thing is, I don't even want to be getting married or having kids right now, but I'm just starting to get nervous. What is wrong with me?
The two ladies who spoke in the audience have also likely had cosmetic surgery work done to help preserve their sexual market value, power, and social capital.
Yeah, it's obvious.
This is a real opportunity to educate women on the importance of not wasting their youth.
True.
Can someone please explain to me why when I was younger and I was like significantly less attractive, like very, very unattractive, I got so much more male attention. Like, I was constantly pursued. My DMs were booming. Like, I don't understand, because now when I look significantly better than I did, it's quiet, crickets. Nobody's DMing me. Nobody's, pursuing me. It's like a whole different.
If an alien abducted me, took time out of his day to beam me up into a spaceship, just me, not anybody else in the neighborhood,
Bruh.
I would make love to them, because that means I was chosen, special. They didn't just beam up Sally next door because she was out in her yard working. They beamed me up out of my own bed as I'm relaxing, playing Candy Crush. So if they took the time to specifically pick me out of all these other humans that are around me, yes, I'll make love. That shows effort.
Oh my God!
Unlike these people on Tinder, who the only thing they want to do is scam me and catfish me and extort money from me.
Boo! Women, especially attractive ones, are often indulged by society and taught they bear no responsibility for their own negative emotions or their poor life choices.
You ever just get fired from your job and burn bridges with every single one of your coworkers who were like your main friendship group?
What?
To the point of where they block and unfollow you and never talk to you again?
What the
So perhaps her social capital isn't as high as she'd like, simply because she's antisocial. Being fired from a job is one thing, but burning bridges with every coworker is another. Remember, it's possible to increase your social capital by being pro-social, which is characterized by acts of kindness, compassion, and helping behaviors. This is something all men and women need to be aware of. By being helpful and giving, by getting to know people, by strengthening your existing relationships, and by being trustworthy. Essentially, increasing your social capital is about generating goodwill. The core idea of social capital is that relationships matter and that social networks are a valuable asset. That being social and working together is important and beneficial. After all, no one should be an island, entire of itself. Everyone should strive to be a piece of the continent, a part of the main. But the numbers tell a different story. Even though the rewards of surrounding oneself with the right people are profound, we're an endless, lonely archipelago. High-quality relationships with others are closely correlated to a decreased risk of premature death, and that loneliness and isolation can lead to poor health in numbers comparable to smoking, high blood pressure, and obesity. Loneliness in men is also linked to cardiovascular disease and stroke, and men account for 80% of completed self-deletions, for which one of the leading contributing factors is loneliness. This has led to speculation that traditional masculine socialization and gender self-concept play a critical role in this relationship. A study entitled Men and Self-Deletion: Why It's a Social Issue found that men still compare themselves against a gold standard that values control, power, and invincibility. These are all things that go against men acknowledging problems with loneliness and social isolation. As men, we need to recognize and embrace the importance of social capital and connection to like-minded people in our lives, or the results can be devastating.
Oh, all right.
When we say young men are killing themselves at 3 times the rate as young women, we use terms like accountability, or they need to get their act together. And that is, we've decided when it comes to men, compassion is a zero-sum game. And that if you feel bad for men, it immediately kind of outs you as someone who might be anti-women or who's gone red pill.